Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Marnie Wills. She's an AI consultant and trainer for leaders in business, and we learn from her about how non-technical entrepreneurs can use AI to save time, scale faster, and reconnect with meaningful work. Welcome to the show, Marnie.
Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Marnie. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk about how one can use practical AI, for business group. We'll talk in this platform. But before that, let's understand a bit about your journey, Marnie, your background, so that people know who they are listening to. Especially, you were initially a bit reluctant to use artificial intelligence, and then you are talking about it for using it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Australia, and at the ripe age of 21, qualified as a secondary PE and science teacher and moved to London. During that time, I guess I felt a little bit behind with the use of changing from a BlackBerry to an iPhone. Trying to learn Apple Mac when I didn't grow up with any of that. I think I developed a mindset around thinking I wasn't very techie. So the printer would go down at school and I would ask someone else to fix it, or I would get the students to help design some of the PowerPoints or anything technical, because I just had this little mind monkey in my brain saying I wasn't very good at anything technical. And that kind of stayed with me. Fast forward about 8 years and I started my own business. I started two, actually. So one was a sports education business where we went into nurseries, so early years settings and primary school, and delivered PE. And the other was a personal training studio. And I was the type of business owner that used to outsource everything, especially everything techie, which really dug into my profits. And I would have people doing websites, which obviously we know back in the day you needed that. I had people writing my copy. I had somebody helping with my bookkeeping. I had somebody writing my emails, even any email sequences, somebody doing social media. I had somebody doing everything because I literally didn't think I had time or the expertise to do it. Fast forward to the start of 2022, even before ChatGPT came out, and I had a really bad experience with a copywriter who just didn't understand the mission I was on and the brand. And therefore, I decided to start using a tool called Jasper AI, which is still around now and is an amazing AI copywriting tool. And I can't tell you, AJ, the feeling that I got when using this tool to write copy for me. At the time, I was selling my early years business as a franchise. And I just felt, honestly, like I had superpowers. For once, I could actually communicate what I thought I wanted. Because as humans, sometimes we think we want something and we tell someone we want that. And they bring back, they give a service to you and you think, gosh, did I ask for it like that? And, it's really hard to communicate what you really want, actually. But I was able to do that through Jasper AI. And then fast forward again a couple of months. And by the end of, 2022, ChatGPT had come out. And the journey has excelled from there. And here I am today in 2025 as an AI trainer and strategist for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and small business owners.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here you are. The monkey mind is not troubling you anymore. You are now helping others, get their monkeys off their back. So I want to understand a bit about this. A lot of people have this misconception about using artificial intelligence, especially businesses, small businesses. What would you like to? What are some of the misconceptions that you hear about as an AI consultant and trainer? Martin.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is we think I need to be technical to use AI, but the reality is the way that the off-the-shelf AI models that we have that are available. Think ChatGPT, think Claude AI, think Google Gemini, Perplexity, even Elon Musk's X has a AI called Grok, and they are so easy to use. You pop it into your browser on your computer, or you download it on your phone, and you can even talk to it like I'm talking to you now, AJ. You could be my AI tool right now that I'm just generally having a conversation with. You can type. You can even ask an AI to be your expert prompt engineer, which is a skill to be able to talk to AI. You can literally have AI help you learn to use AI. So it really is simple. There's really nothing technical about it when you're starting out with generative AI tools, like I said. And I think the other mindset thing that we need to think about, which is a bit of a misconception, is it's just a trend. Generative AI tools within business are not a trend. This is the next technological revolution. If you think about when people went from the white or yellow pages to the internet, when we went from pages to phones, from Blackberries to iPhones, from apps to our social media channels, it is the next bit of technology that we really don't need to be scared about at all. We just need to start using it every day. And my biggest tip that I give away to my clients, or just anyone generally I'm chatting to, is put a sticky note on your laptop or on your phone that says, can AI help me do this better, faster, and more strategic?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of people, Marnie, will say that, listen, Marnie, we know about ChatGPT, we know about Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, and whatever you can talk about, ChatGPT, obviously. So, and that we will do it. Whenever we need something, we do it. But is there a right way to use AI for businesses, or is there not so good thing way they are using it? They don't know about how to actually optimize things using artificial intelligence. Almost everyone has heard it, but not everyone will know how to use it properly. What would you want to tell them about optimally utilizing AI?
Yeah, if it's okay, I want to give a bit of a timeline. So ChatGPT was introduced to us at the end of 2022. By the time we kind of all started using it more regularly, we're talking 2023. And in 2023, you really had to learn how to talk to the AI, how to prompt it, what you wanted. You had to give expert prompts. So it could be something like, give it a role. You are my expert SEO consultant. Then you give it a task. I need you to write a blog for this website, and then you would give it some context. I'm an AI trainer and consultant talking about the new AI model. So you would have to give it, a little bit. So in 2023, we were learning how to prompt. We were also using it a little bit like Google, a little bit like, I don't know, what's the top 10 travel destinations? You're just kind of using it similar to Google. But last year in 2024, the models got so much smarter. So you could ask your AI model to be a prompt engineer for you. You didn't have to give it so much context originally. But then what happened, AJ, is, and this is really important to note for business owners, then what happened is we started getting generic outputs, generic content coming out of our AI models. And that really put a lot of business owners off. They started to feel like they weren't being authentic. It was almost like they were getting a little bit of rubbish out. So where we really are now, at the end of was coming into 2025, definitely, is creating yourself AI assistants within your AI models that have a knowledge base. It has your knowledge base about your personal brand, your business, your mission, your values, your products, your services, how you like to present. All of the knowledge base that you can think of needs to be added to your AI assistant. And then you can customize that AI assistant for different roles. And that AI assistant will show up on your different models. So in ChatGPT, it's a project. In Gemini, it is a gem. In Perplexity, it's spaces. So they show up differently, but you can actually customize a certain AI assistant to do a job. So in my ChatGPT account, I think I have my my CEO sidekick, which has all my information about my businesses, my goals, some of my favorite business role models. So I put that in. I've got my DISC profile, which talks about my personality. I think it's really important to know, any bits that I'm missing. And I always put all of my team meetings upload in there to add to the knowledge base. And I check in with my CEO sidekick every Monday and Wednesday. Another example, I've got a podcast picture, which I also have as a GPT, generative preformed trainer in ChatGPT. And that allows me to be able to send that link to my VA, and they can chat to my already customized podcast GPT. So that's in ChatGPT. In Claude, because Claude's very good at writing, I have a newsletter project or a newsletter assistant, and I've given it customization instructions like, you write a newsletter on LinkedIn, you're a professional copywriter, ensure you follow this flow, and this is my brand tone of voice. And that is where we are in 2025. And AJ, here's why. Because post 2025, 2026, it's happening now, but we really are starting, it's very, very early in adoption, is AI agents. And these are AIs that can go away and do a task for you and make its own decisions. And to be able to do that, you have to give it enough knowledge base and enough context. And that's why I believe now we should be creating and using AI, not as Google, but strategically creating systemized AI assistants to build up that knowledge base so that when we're ready, we can be feeding that and training our AI agents on that data.
Right. But for a common business person, is it easy or is it a bit difficult to understand all these things? Means not everyone will be able to understand. How do you tell them that, listen, it is not difficult?
It is so easy. I can't even tell you how easy it is. It takes about less than 5 minutes to set up an AI project in your AI model. And all you need to think, and you can ask AI to help you, be my strategic partner and help me decide what AI assistant I need to be able to perform these tasks. And you can even ask the AI to write you the custom instructions for that project assistant. Altogether, most of my clients that I work with, we set up there's a done for you or a done with you option, but we normally set up each AI assistance within 15-20 minutes with the knowledge base, the custom instructions all set up. It really doesn't take long at all. The best place to start is a bit of an AI audit, like what are you doing every day in your business, or you as the leader, that you think actually it would be so much quicker if I could create an AI assistant that would be able to let me have the output so much quicker than before. So example is your newsletter. If you do a weekly newsletter, instead of having an AI chat every time, or you've got different AI chats and you go, oh, I remember writing a newsletter last time, and you go back to it, you can actually customize an AI assistant to write the newsletter exactly how you want it, or in a different style that you like. And all you do is put in the content that you want to talk about that week, and it will create it in the style that you want. Is that kind of painting a picture for people, do you think?
Yes. Now, Marnie, what about security? Businesses always are worried about security, data security, own privacy, but that customers' data. Now they don't want to be, to compromise on that. That is the only thing they have got, and they do not have that a lot of money also to safeguard their data. And here they will have to share so much of data onto these models.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things you can think about, and you should think about. The first thing is, if you go into your settings and you go under security and privacy, there's something that says data controls, and you're able to toggle off the option which says that your information is used to train the model. Okay. You can also now toggle off memory. And you can also, in ChatGPT, if that's your main AI model, I'm sure you can do this in Gemini as well, you can do a temporary chat, which means that the AI model and your kind of memory on your AI doesn't save on that information. The next steps that you could possibly do is you could use a Teams account. So on a lot of the AI models, there's an option to have a Teams account. With a Teams account, your data is not shared anywhere. So that's where you could be having more of your intellectual property and digital information uploaded, or any of your client security. If you need to go that next step and have it not as an open source, you would probably need to go to a closed model, which would be something like the tools that I use are u.com, which is a platform that you can access the AI models, but it is closed, which means your data is not shared anywhere. And I think they're quite important things to know. I personally don't really deal with any, I guess, I don't have any security issues that I feel with my content. And I do believe that we as humans and society now, we have a job to do. We have these new amazing smart AI functionalities that we can use, but we as the humans still have what I call our domain expertise. So you have your knowledge and experience and your perspectives, AJ, and I have mine, and they're separate domain expertise. Now, I believe if we're not feeding the AI models as much of this information as we feel comfortable to do, then how are we training the AI models? How are we, progressing them as we go along as well? So I don't toggle off anything. I do sometimes use temporary chats, but I keep my data security on because I believe we have a job to do and to keep training the AI models for the next generation.
Right. What about workflows? You also talk about workflows. What is the best way I can create that in using artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a difference between workflow and automation. So I just want to say that to start with. Automations is when you use a certain tool, maybe it's Zapier, maybe it's make.com, where you are having a trigger. So whether that is a Google Sheets, and that's a trigger that says whenever I add in an extra line in this Google Sheet, you go the trigger, that's the trigger, and then you go and create, and you could link it to ChatGPT, and it could be create a blog post on the content I've done, and then the next trigger could be to send it to an email to be looked over, so it's kind of that's kind of an automation flow. In terms of AI workflows, my belief on the AI workflows are you as the business owner realizing whenever you've got a project or a task and you break it into steps, each of those steps probably needs a different expertise, because we are business owners. We have to have a lot of hats on a lot of the time, and we need a lot of different expertise. So that's why I'm talking about workflows. If I am going to do, so one of my workflows, for example, is my quarterly like we call them KPIs meetings, right? My quarterly KPIs meeting. Whenever I know that is coming up, I have 3 different AI assistants to help me. One, I've got my executive assistant that has all of my meeting notes in. So I go through there and I say, what has been discussed about the KPIs this quarter? What things did we achieve? What haven't we? So that's my first step. Then I go into my second step, which is an AI assistant that's connected to my KPIs documents. And we're strategically thinking about what is the next steps according to our goals for the year, as an example. And then the next one is I'm writing our quarterly report, and I use a different AI assistant to do that. And that's what I mean by AI workflows. You've got a big task, a big project. You need different, I believe, different customized AI to be able to do that. And again, they really aren't hard to set up at all. And you could even brainstorm AI to be your strategical thinker for that.
Absolutely. Which is the best tool? There are so many tools for so many things, that it is difficult. That itself can be overwhelming. So how do you tackle this part of these questions?
Oh, AJ, I have a love-hate relationship with this question, because I could never get it down under 5 AI tools that are my favorite ever. And then sometimes it creeps up to about 10. But here's where I'm at today. Okay. ChatGPT paid version, definitely one of my favorites. Because it's the army Swiss knife, I think, of AI models. You can create your projects, you can create your GPTs, you can have your teams chat. You can toggle off security. It's got amazing image generation, which has just come out, which it's really probably worth noting. If you're in the creative space, you might want to think about how you can leverage the new API key within OpenAI, which links to their amazing new AI generator tool. So something to think about if you're in the creative space. So ChatGPT, definitely the paid version is one of my favorites. I constantly use Perplexity, and I actually have a free Perplexity guide that has replaced any type of Google for me, and it's really good deep research without needing extensive prompts for me. And I have a lot of spaces in Perplexity as well, which is where I keep a lot of my grouped chats. Oh, okay. The next one for me is Claude AI, an absolutely amazing writer, and their new 3-point sonnet model is amazing at helping you construct. So, for example, I recently constructed a bit of a keynote speech, and it helped me, get all of my ideas out from my head and put it into a really good structure. And then I think probably one that goes under the radar would be Notebook LM, which is connected to Google Gemini. And I use Notebook LM I love podcasts and I love YouTube. Well, I mainly listen to them on YouTube. And I often have a note, and they're called notebooks. So you have different notebooks. So if I'm trying to stay ahead of, say, AI thought leadership, I'll have a notebook where I add in a whole lot of YouTube links of things that I've listened to. I'll have a summary. And then in that summary, I'll also put in my thoughts and how it connects to what I do. And that's saved in a notebook. And in Notebook LM, you can also now search the web as well. So if I happen to come across 2 podcasts that are similar, I say, what articles are out there that are similar to this? And it's able to look. And then all of a sudden, I've got my knowledge base there. And then I think, talking about kind of knowledge base, I think one of my 2 other favorite tools are VoicePan, which I mainly use on my phone. So I talk into VoicePan. I can ramble, I can talk, I can do whatever. I'm normally talking to my staff members via this VoicePan. And then what happens is I can transcribe it in any way I like. So it can transcribe it, it can make a list, it could do clear text, it could structure it like a LinkedIn post, it could structure it like an email. And then all I do is, once it's transcribed it, I just click the button and send it off to wherever I need to send it off. It saves me a ton of time. And then I guess my last favorite tool that I've been playing around with a lot is called Recall AI. And it helps me, instead of having 100 tabs open on my laptop, which unfortunately I do right now, I have to confess, but it will save all the information on my phone, on my laptop. I'll put it into folders, just lots of things that I've consumed that I think, oh, I remember reading about, I remember reading about the new ChatGPT 0304 model. I remember watching something and I'm trying to write content about it. I go, I remember listening to that. I remember learning. Where did I find that? I just go into my Recall AI, just pop that sentences. I remember listening or learning about 0304. Where do I find that information? And it will recall everything that I've come across. So I don't know how many numbers of tools that was, AJ, but that's where I'm at today with my favorite.
Absolutely. These are all very important ones. And I'm sure a lot of people will try for themselves, and start using it. As there's much to learn about these things. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to connect with you, Marnie, know more about all this, and also perhaps be your client. What is the best way for them to do so?
LinkedIn, Marnie Wills on LinkedIn, Instagram, business with AI _strategist, are probably the 2 main platforms to get hold of me at. AJ, I'm curious, I'm not sure if your guests ask you, but where are you in your AI journey?
I use some of these tools, especially many a times I just use it for understanding things. If I need to understand something, or maybe explain me like a 5-year-old, sometimes I start from there, so that some of the things. Oh, no, I don't know most of the things in my life. So some of the things which I feel that I need to understand, then I start there. If there is any question, then I do. So these things are there. Obviously, in terms of our workflow in podcasting, it does help. So those are the major things. Rest, if there is any curiosity, you ask. Nowadays, even search is there in AI, you see. So that is also there to explore. So these are some of the things I have explored till that. There are other things also, especially within ChatGPT, the reason and all. Those things I do not understand, but maybe, as time goes by. GPTs I have not tried as yet. I'm still on the free version, but that is enough for me at the moment. There are so many of them: ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok. I haven't tried. Claude, yes, Claude. Sometimes it acts smart. Sometimes ChatGPT comes up as a clear winner. So you continue to look at things, whatever we need. Most of the time for podcasting, the original person is very much required till now. But we don't know about the future. That is the journey I'm undertaking at the moment.
Yeah, and it is a journey, and again, it's for me. I think it's about using it every day and just thinking, can AI help me do this better, faster, and more strategic? Is definitely the first place to start. But interestingly, for any of the listeners out there that are marketers, I think it's really important to stay involved with where AI is going, because Perplexity is in talks with TikTok to connect and to be able to add TikTok within, so Perplexity within TikTok. We know that Meta, their Llama is in our WhatsApp now, so we can use AI within our WhatsApp. In Grok, on X, you can use XAI within the actual social media platform. And then I guess now they're working towards shopping, AI shopping. So when you use your AI model, that e-commerce is going to be coming in. So I think it's a really fast changing industry for anyone that's in marketing, and that affects us even as business owners for our own marketing as well. So it's really important to stay in the loop if you can, because these changes are coming, and I think the more that you're comfortable with understanding AI and just using it every day, you're going to be in a much better position than your competitors. And it is super fun as a business owner. I feel so confident now. I have way more better profit margins than outsourcing everything I did before, and it's great. It's so much fun to use. So highly recommend start using every day if you don't already. And the next steps are your AI assistants and your AI workflows for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.